Yellow! If you know the enemy and you know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. Sun Tzu, The Art of War. When we look at Ronda Rousey's shadow boxing, her hips are not timed to the strikes, her torso does not rotate into the strikes. Overall, the strikes will deliver their force very inefficiently. That's why everyone with some level of striking was basically laughing. This is basic stuff. Even here, the head movement looks like she just got shadow punched by Amanda Nunes. It's weird, because I don't know any coach that would miss such basic principles. How someone could allow such bad form, but also actually allow a student to believe it was correct. I don't understand it. Following a few more segments of training, it's obvious. Ronda had been led into a state of delusion, like taking this seriously. Where would you ever find such a technique useful outside of Mortal Kombat? I don't mean to be disrespectful, I acknowledge what Ronda Rousey has accomplished in the arena, but for that reason, it is infuriating to see such a tremendous talent basically get steamrolled like she was never fit to be a champion. I do not buy that at all. I believe there is more to this story. Her finishing Wing Chun style in MMA is very dangerous when the gloves inhibit the Wing Chun punching style, basically leaving her guard open. But anyways, let's continue. To make it all worse, she actually won a fight using her stand-up. It was her fight versus Sarah McMahon. To put things into perspective, Sarah is an Olympic freestyle wrestler, which was nullified by Ronda Rousey's supreme prowess in judo. But nonetheless, look at all these flush shots Ronda took. If she looked over the footage, this should have been a red flag for her. Thinking she could stand and bang with Holly or Nunes when Sarah, a wrestler who doesn't have nearly the same pedigree in striking, she could catch her with relative ease. How could Ronda believe striking would be her route towards victory against Holly and Nunes? But here's the twist. Coach Edmund wasn't the real root of the problem. Regardless of how strange her striking was, she violated Sun Tzu's philosophy of knowing yourself and knowing the enemy. Let's look at an example of this. Habib Nurmagomedov vs. Michael Johnson. Khabib, whose greatest strength is unquestionably his grappling, decided to stand and bang with an elite striker. Now, I'm not going to say Khabib's striking is bad. It's actually pretty good. Definitely messy, but functional beyond what Ronda Rousey was doing. His striking is effective in its own way because his opponents aren't worried about the striking. They are in constant fear of his wrestling pressure. Back to the point. Michael Johnson has a background as a striker on top of a physiology fit for striking. He's explosive. He's rangy. Khabib said in an interview that he wanted to stand and bang with Michael, and the result, he was getting rocked. Let's be honest, Michael Johnson looked like he was in a completely different league. Finally, at the wish of his corner, Khabib obliged, and it almost looked too easy. He ragdolled and dominated Michael Johnson in a way that was almost upsetting by how uneven it was. Khabib can strike at a high level, but that's not who he is. He's a grappler. His strengths, his aptitudes, are geared towards grappling. Nick and Nate Diaz, they can strike and grapple, but that's not their greatest strength. Their strengths are endurance. As Joe Rogan has said, they make you run with them. They pull you into their deep waters of endurance via high-volume striking and make you play their game of who tires out first. Ronda, she forgot who she was and decided to play a completely different game versus opponents who were already elite in that game. That is why she's been getting steamrolled. Even if she had Freddie Roach teach her boxing, it wouldn't have mattered because she may get good at striking, but she will never be the best striker versus the best strikers. That's not who she is. She is a 4th degree Dan Olympic judo monster, and her game plans should have all revolved around pulling her opponents into that world, that deep waters. Honestly, with the pressure her phenomenal judo had, her striking would have had more openings as a result. Now, this doesn't mean she shouldn't refine her striking or boxing. We should all continue to learn. Always attempt to improve upon ourselves, grow and become better. Add tools to our kit if it fits our unique style. But at the same time, we should always still remember who we are, what our game truly is. Self-awareness is the key. Otherwise, it's like the physically frail 5'2" kid wishing he could make it into the NBA. There's nothing wrong with dreaming big and having delusionally high expectations. but they have to be grounded towards who you are, realistic in regards to how Mother Nature has allocated your gifts. Self-awareness. It truly is ironic. I am certain her delusional mindset, her feelings of grandeur brought her that far in the first place. It made her a worldwide sensation, but the moment she forgot who she was, that same delusion, that grandeur, like a double-edged sword, was used against her. A penguin born to swim, watching the birds fly, and jumping the cliff believing it could fly all the same, succumbing to the ruthless physics of Mother Nature. Albert Einstein. Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. This extends far beyond the arena. It is a philosophy for life. I will never believe anyone is stupid. I have many weaknesses myself, you have many weaknesses, but we all have our own unique strengths, and that is where genius lies. And so, even beyond what Bruce Lee had said, I believe life is the same, a game where you must figure out how to express yourself honestly. I hope Ronda continues to refine her striking. I hope she continues to improve and grow, and regardless of her future fortune in the arena, nonetheless, I wish her the best. And to that end, thank you, Ronda Rouzi, for this lesson. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you did. It's good karma. And until next time, peace.
Ultimately, martial art means honestly expressing yourself.